Hello, hello, hello. This is Adrienne Berg, and this is the Ageless Traveler. And the Ageless Traveler is only 3 years old come November, but we have had so much input from you guys, and you tell me exactly what you need to travel more, and we deal with it. One of the things is that you're a caregiver, so we put out the Caregiver's Guide to Travel. Another one is that you don't always have a companion, and so we just won the Solo Travel Award from Journeywoman. But the one problem that dare not speak its name is money. Having the means on fixed income, Social Security, pensions to travel. And I do know that travel costs are skyrocketing. Now, what do you do if you love to travel, you want to travel, you want everyone to travel? Well, you become a travel coach and you make some money out of your passion to travel. And I'm going to say that that's what we're going to talk about today. It's going to be very inspirational because it's a way for you to fulfill yourself as well and help others. But honestly, the fact is, making those extra dollars by helping others is a feeling that can't be beat on both counts. And who do we have today with us? Well, we have Sahara Rose, the founder, the CEO, the voice of travel coaching. And she's going to tell you all about it. So, Sahara, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, let's take a little bit of a deep dive. We're talking to people who don't know what a travel coach is. So, please tell us what a travel coach is.
Yeah, so essentially, a travel coach is someone who helps people better understand why they want to travel, helps them be more intentional with their travel decisions on where to go, what to do, how to spend their time based off of that why, and helping people use travel as not just an escape or getaway or a vacation, but instead as a really powerful tool in their life for things like healing, reinvention, transformation, self discovery, personal growth, and more.
The National Geographic just asked Talkers, which is the one of the magazines I read, people who are on the air, about a survey of older adults, but not so old, people 35 and over. That's already older adults, including those in their 60s and 70s. Why they travel? They asked that question. And 57% said, we're curious. And almost 87% said to learn something new, to change, to experience new things. People are not just traveling to eat in Paris anymore. So, what it seems like it's a ripe time to help people and coach them to go to the right places. Is that what a travel coach does?
Yeah, I love that you added that survey in there, those statistics, because there's a reason why we have a sense of curiosity. There's a reason why we want to learn something new. There's a reason why we want to feel better and make changes in our life. There's a reason behind all of that. And so if it's travel that we can turn to and that it's also travel that decades worth of research exists out there that supports how travel can help us achieve all of those things and so much more, why not do it intentionally? So why not shift the mindset from travel being just this escape and a vacation, and instead really use it as a source in your life to be able to achieve whatever it is you're looking to achieve and feel how you want to feel. And that's what the root of travel coaching is.
I'm going to surprise you and everybody else because I'm going to now be, I could have said the patient. I was going to say I'm going to be the patient, but I'm going to be the coachee, not the coach, and tell you a real life thing that's going on with me. So it's going to be my 55th anniversary. And it's been a long time between drinks, and we decided to do something special. We want to go to the Galapagos, and we also want to go down the Amazon. So we have a couple of issues. One is, could we take it? Now, this is rainforest. He's 78. I'm going to be 78 in September. It's romantic. We want to ignite the romance of 55 years. So that's special to us. At the same time, we want to go alone, which means we're a little guilty. We're not making the 55th anniversary party. So we want to sort of celebrate with technology. And there's a lot going on here, right? And we're actually, remember, I'm the ageless traveler. I'm having trouble. Should we stay in this lodge? Should we go in that lodge? I'm going to go now to a travel coach. What is a travel coach going to ask me? What are they going to do for me?
Yeah, well, the thing with travel coaching is that there's not one type of travel coach who focuses on just one sort of thing. So for in your case, you would search for a travel coach who understands you, who has that audience, who has that niche, who it has that specialty. So we have travel coaches in the Travel Coach Network who help people with at your age specifically for the pre-trip preparation. So what does that mean physically for you guys? What does that mean from a mental standpoint as well? So how can they help you prepare for that? So they would help you with that, like because age is a question when you're doing something so far outside of the beaten path. And so that is something that they would be helping with. As for the emotional, the relationship connection, they'd be focusing on, and they'd be experts in this, on how do they get you guys to connect within those environments. And it's again, not just taking a trip, but how can you guys be present together? And what are you really looking to feel when you get back? Like what has caused you to in your life so far in your relationship is you guys have been busy, you've been building a business, you're on the road a lot. So where has that disconnection happened? Why? And how can we reverse engineer that and help you? So the travel coach would be helping you with the emotional standpoint, the relationship standpoint, the physical standpoint. And then there's the logistical. So it depends. Some travel coaches do wear the hat as a travel advisor or a tour operator or a retreat leader or something else. They don't only have to be just a travel coach. And many are also things like relationship coaches or life coaches, wellness coaches. So you'd want to find a travel coach who fits what it is that you are in need of. But then if it's talking about the logistics, based off of what they would learn about you and how you guys want to spend your time and how you're spending your time now and what intentions you're going to set for that time. Maybe there's certain exercises they have you to do together, really sparking that romance and that emotional connection between you two. But then help you then decide on the lodges and the tours and everything else. Maybe there's a lodge that is going to have more nature around it. And maybe it's more seclusion that you're looking for. Maybe you're looking just to connect with other couples. Maybe there's more of a community around there. Maybe there's one that offers a way to give back in the community in some way. And you guys spend your time building your connection and empathy and compassion with the local community. There's so many different options that exist. But if we can reverse engineer everything with a travel coach, you guys can make better decisions on everything for your trip.
I have to tell you that you're leading me. And so I want people to realize that this really does work because even from the few sentences, I'm thinking in a different way already because my husband and I are go, 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 right? So everything is what can I see? What pictures can I take? What can I say back for my podcast? Remember, I'm in a particular position. And now I'm thinking that this is almost like marriage review. Like we have life review. This is a long time, 55 years, and and maybe it shouldn't be such a go-go because there are lodges that give you a lot of relaxation time. And there are others where you're constantly on the march, which is what we would normally go to. And I'm thinking differently. So this gives me just a little taste. I hope people are just getting a little taste and inkling of what this is. Now, before we take a break, from what you said, there are three kinds of people that might be interested in travel coaching. One are people who are already coaches, and I hope they will come. We are setting up a webinar to give the details of becoming a travel coach. It's absolutely free. Sahara is giving her time. She's just terrific with this, and it will be June 10th. And this will be on the show notes to this show, in our newsletter, and online. The people who are already coaches should definitely come. I'm not even concerned about that. People who are thinking about a new phase of their life and are listening now would love to have some extra money for travel and be part of travel should come. But you said something. You said the word retreat. That's a third kind of person who has something in mind that may not have to do exactly with travel, but would facilitate them to start retreats. Can you address that before we take our break?
The retreat industry is on the rise. We seek human connection more than ever now. And there's a lot of ways to do that. That's why retreats, especially with the category of wellness, there's so many different retreats out there. They don't only have to be yoga retreats and wellness retreats, but wellness is such a broad category. Even just travel itself, in my opinion, falls under the category of wellness. But that is a category on the rise. And we've seen a lot of retreat leaders combining travel coaching with their services. And even within that, what we teach you in our program, in our community, is that you can wear whatever hat you want. So it doesn't mean you have to go out and become a retreat leader yourself. You can partner with retreat leaders. You can be the brains and the idea behind who needs to come together and why. What are you sharing? What are you experiencing? The power of retreats and groups and coaching and mentoring people through these specific phases in their life is, a really, really important category.
So I do want to tell you that I'm a speaker on cruise ships. And one of the things that I speak about is called your passport to longevity. How travel itself keeps you younger and even reverses aging. So it's the truth. I've got the geroscience proof. Believe it or not, of everything I speak on, that's where most people show up. They want to understand how travel helps them neurologically, cognitively, physically, and I've got the proof because I used to work with geroscientists for a very long time. Next week, actually, I'll be in Vegas at a design conference, designing hotels. They want me to talk about longevity travel. They want me to talk about this new cutting edge thing of people traveling to increase their health span and their lifespan. Not just the wellness, not just yoga and meditation, but actually huge changes in why they travel. Everything from stem cell injections, right, to cryonics, to changing their habits when they get home.
Yeah.
All of this is a whole new world for travel coaching because it's a whole new world for travel. So what people may be thinking now is, gee, this is interesting. Maybe I could do it. I will definitely come to the June 10th. I hope you're thinking. I'm definitely coming to the June 10th webinar, which is at 9 a.m. Pacific time. You'll get all that information. But can I really, really do it? I don't like to market. I'm not much of a business person. I've tried marketing before in a different arena. I failed, blah, blah, blah. We all have these thoughts. We come back. I want to talk about the truth of why the Travel Coach Network is so powerful. And that is, it puts people in business. So don't you guys go anywhere. We'll be right back. Our free weekly newsletter, Travel Tuesday. Just visit agelesstraveler.com, click subscribe, and enter your name and email for a surprise gift. What's the surprise? Well, if I tell you, it's not a surprise. What I can say is that Travel Tuesday tackles travel barriers like money, health, companionship, and even travel burnout, and gives you a taste of what our blog and podcast have to offer every single week, helping you explore the world effortlessly. And now we are back, and we're here really to whet your appetite, to get more information than we can provide on a podcast through a webinar where you can attend live. It'll be taking place on June 10th, online, of course. We have on our show notes the landing page URL. You can go there right now and you can register. And we're here with the doyen of travel coaching, the Travel Coach Network. So Sahara Rose is with us, and she's going to explain why this has taken off. Because honestly, Sahara, if people weren't making money on this, it was just a good idea, you wouldn't have so many people in your network. So how do you support people who want to do this?
Oh gosh, yeah. How don't we support people? There's a lot of coaching programs that exist out there. We are ICF accredited, International Coach Federation, but there's also a lot of ICF accredited programs. We're the only program that combines coaching plus travel. But beyond all of that is we focus a lot on business. We don't just certify coaches and leave them high and dry and trying to figure things out, right? Like it's a business. So how do you find your audience? How do you get clients? How do you create revenue streams? These are all things that we help people with. And one of the beautiful things about the Travel Coach Network is that we don't have you guys pigeon yourself into a hole on, I have to do it this way, or I must choose this niche. when we think of travel and a travel business, the first thing that comes to mind is going to be a travel advisor, travel agent, right? It's the
Right.
industry that's been dominated when it comes to helping people travel for centuries now. Nothing wrong with it. We have hundreds of travel advisors combining coaching into there. But that old school mentality of you have to put yourself into one of these categories of luxury or adventure, or choose a demographic only based on age and gender and education level or whatever, or you only have to focus in luxury because that's the only thing that's going to be lucrative for you. What we're seeing, the people who are coming to the Travel Coach Network are those who know that travel is so much more than just taking a vacation, and that travel has done something for them. It has changed them. Plus, like you said, there's decades worth of research out there on the mental, emotional, physical, social, psychological, everything benefits of travel. So the people that come to us are seeking more meaning and more purpose. And so in our program, in the Travel Coach Network, we help people really sculpt a travel related business. And I say travel related because not everyone wants to be travel forward, right? So I mentioned health and wellness coaches, life coaches, retreat leaders, medical experts as well. We have so many different types of people who come in to combine travel coaching with their desired business model and who they want to help and how they want to help them. But just using travel as kind of that secret ingredient to helping their clients get the value and the outcomes and results that they're trying to help them achieve, which can be done in an intentional way. But in our program, we help people when it comes to marketing. You brought up marketing.
Right.
A very broad word. Marketing is very broad word, right? Like even just a business is a very broad word. What does that mean? And what does that mean for each individual coach and business owner? And yes, there's the traditional scary way of having to show up on social media and
Right.
stuff. And I totally understand that's not everyone's jam. Not everyone wants to do that. I don't always want to do that. And so there's so many different ways that you can show up. It really, you have to take a look at what makes you happy, where are your ideal clients at, and what kind of business model is going to get you up every day to continue to do day
Yeah.
after day. Maybe that's speaking, maybe that's writing, maybe that's creating something, maybe that is building a community. Maybe that's creating a product and selling one product over and over again digitally. There's so many different ways that you can provide value and spread your message and your story without having to become an influencer online.
Yes. So that's why I'm so interested in this. When you come to the webinar, in addition to some really hardcore information from Sahara, for example, how do you set your fees? Are there affiliate programs? How do you share if you do send somebody to an advisor, a travel advisor, who gets paid just to find the right hotel? In other words, the nitty gritty is what we're going to be talking about on June 10th. But I'm going to have some nitty gritty too. And that is most of the folks that listen to me, Sahara, are retired or thinking about retirement. They want to make extra money, but they want to have a lot of time for themselves now. And what I have to share on June 10th is special ways of marketing. Most of us do live in over 55 communities. Within that community alone, you've got clients. All you have to do is put out a little lemonade stand, as the kids used to do. And believe it or not, that could be enough for everyone. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I'll be talking about that a lot more, is that one of the biggest problems for the older, devoted traveler is travel burnout. They don't know where to go, and they're having more and more difficulty navigating airports, not because they're physically, it's just stressful, and more difficulty getting their loved one, their significant other, to go. We have some statistics that say up to 67% of women who travel by themselves are married. Now, what's going on? So, these are the kinds of things I want to bring to the table on June 10th and show anybody who wants to be a travel coach, not only that they're doing good in the world, because they really are, but how to make money in an appropriate way, in a respectable way, in a way where you gain self-confidence with the particular market we're talking about. Now, before we take our last break, You got a lot of people in your network. How many people are travel coaches right now?
Yes.
You.
So we have just over 760 travel coaches in our English and Spanish program.
So that's important too, because there's a bilingual nature to that. And these are people who themselves do love to travel. So give us a little profile, not necessarily the age group, but a little profile of one or two.
What we're seeing are kind of twofold. We're seeing people who didn't have any background in a travel business or the travel industry, but travel has done something for them. They are educators or caregivers, like they like taking care of people and helping people, but they've never connected the dots between their passion for travel and what travel has done for them with helping people. So we have those people who have no coaching, no nothing background. But then we have the others who have been life, health, wellness coaches, wellness experts, travel agents who kind of fell under the spell saying if you have a passion for travel, you have to plan and book trips for people, tour operators, anyone who's kind of been in one of those coaching or wellness or travel industry saying, I'm seeking more purpose and meaning and authenticity to my business. I want more alignment with who I serve and how I show up and how I help people versus what I've always been told I have to do or that's possible for me. So those are the kind of the twofold of people that we do see. But with that said, we have, like I said, people from all different backgrounds. We are organically over 95% women in the Travel Coach Network. We're not marketing it that way, but I think it speaks a lot to the power of travel for women and on women and the women industry in travel. But yeah, and we have members in 40 plus countries.
So I do want to say that I'm very privileged. This show is heard a lot in the UK. So, and I made the time for our June 10th so that people could still be awake in the UK if they would like to participate. We have people in Sweden, we have people in Australia. So don't think that has to be local only.
Nope. Nope.
Not at all. This is a wonderful organization, and it's the only one of its kind. And that's really important. Now, before we take our last break, and I'm going to be asking Sahara what you guys should prepare before you get onto our webinar. The webinar is free, but it still takes an hour of your time. And so I want you to get the most of it on June 10th, the most you can possibly get out of it. And I'm going to be asking you how to prepare. But this is my pitch. For many years, I was an elder law attorney. Right now, I just got off my meeting with the United Nations. I'm a representative at the UN, the International Federation on Aging. All great stuff. However, of everything I've ever done, what I've brought to the table for people to help them keep traveling has done more for my self-respect and self-confidence, for my feeling of fulfillment. Forget the money for a minute, although I don't want to forget the money. It's a very fulfilling thing. Until you get into it, and until you understand the travel industry and how wonderful the people are in this industry, it's a happy industry. It's an industry where you feel forever curious and engaged. So if you are listening and you're thinking, gee, I'm a little bit down in the dumps right now. I'm getting older, I'm retiring, I don't know what to do next. I have all these skills, they're going to go to waste. Nobody will remember me from the office, blah, blah, blah. These are all the things that happen to us. Me too. I'm invisible. Here is something you can do for other people and use every one of your skills because it's really not booking hotels. It's so not. So how will you prepare for it? Well, we'll find out from Sahara Rose as soon as we come back. Don't you guys go anywhere. If you've been thinking about a cruise, I've definitely got you covered with Cruises It. Now, we have just become affiliated with them. And who are they? Well, Cruises It is the top agency for all the main cruise lines and some of the less known cruise lines as well. Cruises It has access to booking space that's been open years in advance, so you can get the best cabins, and that's just number one. But they also make the prices lower. The cruise lines give Cruises It their own exclusive agency discounts. And if you're not from the cruise line, they have their own agency discounts that would apply as well. So you get both any discounts you would normally get on the cruise line, plus additional discounts that are given exclusively to Cruises It because they bring in so much business. On top of all those discount perks, when you book with them, you get the best rate guaranteed. And this is because Cruise Fair Watch system takes place. Now, what Cruises It does is it tracks the pricing until the final payment date. So you keep in mind that to get the best rate guaranteed, you have to use my site. We have affiliated with them specifically. I sat down, I met with them in Tucson, Arizona. I met with Marianne Weather. We've now become good friends. She gave me a direct line, not only a link, which you can certainly use right away, but if you have questions, even a specific phone number. Cruises, it offers this not just to anyone that is one of our followers, but if you have friends and family, you can bring them in too. So just take a look at the show notes and you will see our dedicated phone line and our dedicated link. Happy sailing. And now we're back, and this is our little, say, pre-webinar webinar, so that to whet your appetite to even think about becoming a travel coach. And the reason it's not easy is you probably don't know any travel coaches. You never maybe heard of what Travel Coach Network is all about. But you'll be able to, for free, and that's important because I want this to take a moment of your time, but its purpose is not to cost you money. Its purpose is to make you money. So, and that will be June 10th. It'll be 9 a.m. It'll be Pacific time. You'll hear me giving you very practical hints and tips on how to create your mission statement, how to reach people in our category to become clients. And of course, from Sahara Rose, we'll be doing most of the webinar on what it means to be a travel coach, the nitty gritty, the nuts and bolts. But to get the most out of it, so that you can make a decision if you want to be going further with this, how should our attendees prepare for that 1 hour with us?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would love for everyone to just take a moment to do some self-reflection on their passion for travel. Where did that stem from? And I want you to pull back the layers and go deeper than you like to try new foods and see new sights and meet new people, all of the typical answers that, usually come out first, right? I want you to really pull back those layers and ask yourself, like, what does travel really mean to me? What has it really done for me? How has it changed me? In what ways? And what was it about travel? If we say we love immersing into local cultures, well, why? How does that make us feel? This is really, really important for if you do become a travel coach. One, to get clarity. Is that for you? Do you have enough of a passion to help change the lives of others through travel? And two, to set a solid foundation for your travel coaching business. So I'd really love people to do that deep dive because that's going to help you get the clarity on, well, who needs that sort of empowerment and guidance and inspiration and changes and transformations in their own life, like you have achieved, that you have accomplished. And so just starting with that, I want people to get that clarity and bring that in because as I go through the webinar, then people can start connecting the dots and building upon that foundation that they've already set for themselves.
So, full disclosure, I am a certified virtual speaker. I love better to speak on the stage and to meet the people, but I do a lot of virtual speaking. And I do a lot of interaction. So you're going to get that, guys, on June 10th. I'll tell you 2 little exercises just in keeping with what you just heard about self-exploration, which is what you're really talking about. One, I am going to give you a little meditation so that you can see your mission and where travel might fit into your life mission. And we've used it everywhere from the United Nations to new people who are starting their own businesses. The second thing I'm going to do is what Sahara said, and you may be able to do that even before as part of this preparation. You simply take a piece of paper and you put a line, and the line is bouncy. And what you indicate is important events in your life. But in this case, you put in important travel. Now, this could be as simple as what you remember, a great meal, a place you bought something and you still have it could be a souvenir, and you've moved 12 times, and you take that one silly souvenir with you, or something in your life that went wrong, and it was fixed by travel. And I tell the truth about this because my dad died when I was 11, and most of the people listening know this by now. And by accident, I ended up going to Paris, Amsterdam, Israel, and Yemen, and I was 11 years old. And the accident was that I was going to camp in Israel, and the plane could not refuel. It was too far. Remember, this is the 1950s. So what they decided to do was stop over for a week in several countries, and I got to see the world. And I was a very, very depressed child. Today, they would have given me pills and God knows what. Then they just go to school and get an A, which was not the thing to do. I've never been depressed again. So I can actually do a life timeline that shows how I got out. Today, new research shows that there's such a thing for adults as situational depression. It's just their situation. If they go out and they travel, everything changes. That's how deeply I feel that you can help other people. That's my timeline. We'll see yours, and you'll be shocked to see what comes up when you have this introspection. It's a beautiful thing, and we'll do it, and it's hard to get it from anywhere else. So now let me go back. I have a famous question, and the question is, if you had a magic wand, and you could just wave that magic wand, how would you see travel coaching going in the future?
Oh gosh, I love that question so much because it's what drives me every single day. Where do I even start with it? I see every single travel advisor, travel agent out there also being a certified travel coach. I think it's really important. I think that expands into the tour operator industry too, and we're seeing more and more of that. But even beyond that, going into the medical industry, going into the corporate world, and having access. So we're building right now a database. If you go to hireatravelcoach.com, it's in beta mode, and we have a lot to change on it and everything. But there's plenty of profiles of our travel coaches slowly being added on there. And it's like a searchable engine where people, depending on whether they're reaching corporate burnout or they want to know how to best use their vacation days, or if they're seeking a sabbatical, or they are trying to enhance their wellness journey, whatever it might be, expanding that and having this global hub of certified travel coaches who may combine other roles and hats as well, not seeing travel as just this marketing engine of hotels and destinations and bookings, and instead a really important tool in our life and in our wellness as a whole. We see a lot of medical experts, pharmacists. Even during the pandemic, there was in the UK, there was reports from BBC of how many physicians were prescribing time in nature for their patients with depression, which makes total sense. But that's not something that is, at least here in the States, common and people do. But it's something that is happening and we're seeing more and more of, right? Of the power of blue and green spaces. And so creating this giant kind of directory of these incredibly talented travel coaches in all these different niches, and allowing these different kind of entities to have access to them so that their employees, for people, patients, are able to use travel as a part of their journey of whatever it is they're trying to achieve.
Well, in the UK, and I talk about this a lot on the ships because Cunard Lines is one of the groups in their UK. They do have their doctors, GPs, have what's called social prescribing, and they will actually cover, their healthcare system actually covers going out, meeting people, because social isolation kills. So this is all an offshoot of that sort of thing. And statistics, you like statistics. So statistically, one of the greatest things that's happening in our age group is what's called the retirement gap year. We're taking a year from retirement. Imagine that. We're retiring from retirement for a year, gap year, and we're volunteering. So if you like the idea of helping other people, it's good for you to volunteer. But imagine if you can get an army of people out there because you're their travel coach, helping them volunteer That's a business in and of itself
Right.
because people are lost. They
Mhm.
want to give, but they don't know where to give or how to give and do it the right way. So this is just we're scratching the surface. June 10th is the thing. You're going to love it. Even if you never become a travel coach, you're going to love the Travel Coach Network. You're going to send other people. They'll say, this is from my friend. So you make sure that you go and you register. So we thank you so much, Sahara. And if you have the last words for our friends, welcome them aboard. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, even if, like Adrian said, even if you decide that travel coaching is not your thing, the Travel Coach Network is a global community of absolutely incredible human beings that you might find your next travel buddy, you might find your next best friend, you might find your next confidant in there. Um, and so we really encourage you at least check out the webinar, take some notes, even if it's for you to implement into enhancing your next trip for yourself. I think you'll really, really enjoy it.
And it will be recorded. So if the date or the time is not good for you, if it's in the middle of the night for some of my good friends in Africa, don't worry, just register and we'll send you the recording. And we thank you so much for being with us today and giving some time to us. And for
Thanks.
everybody else, you know what I'm going to say? Never stop traveling.